Welcome, everybody, to Ignite Humanity Live. I'm your host, Lady JB Owen, and I'm happy to be here because guess what? We're talking about ways to ignite humanity, and we all have to be thinking about how to ignite humanity. All kinds of things are happening. The world is changing. We know it, and we're seeing it in the news, and we're seeing it in all kinds of different ways. In fact, I just received a text this morning about how we're getting even more and more sharing our personal knowledge and our biometrics and our blood type and our eye scans and all of that. Everyone is wanting to know everything about us. And is that allowed? Do we want that? Are we interested in that? How are we changing so much? What's happening? And how can we be a part of making sure our future is exactly what it is we want to be? Well, it comes down to each and every one of us. We have the ability to ignite humanity in ways that we want our future to look like. And it does start with just one person. In fact, it starts with you, with me, with everyone, of course, with our guests on the show, because each and every one of us has the ability to create a ripple effect in our lives, to start moving the needle forward in the trajectory of where it is we want to go and how we want our future to be. And one of the ways that we're going to do it is not by alienating each other and not by creating boundaries and borders. It's by bringing each other together. And the way that we do that, and I like to share, is by doing it through Ignite moments. Ignite moments are those times in our lives that have challenged us and been difficult. And in some ways, made us have to change. And it happens to each and every one of us, happens to me, happening to me recently, as I would love to share that one of my team members has passed on. It's someone I've been working with for many years. And I just have to take a moment to honor her. Miss Danya Safar has been a part of our community here at Ignite since the beginning. And last week she was involved in a fire and lost her life. And so times like that and situations in this way make me really feel passionate. And today you're going to get the emotional side of me, because I truly want people to recognize that our life is precious and we need to be taking care of not just ourselves, but each other. And with the loss of a very good friend of mine, Danya Safar, I want to dedicate this show to her, because she made such a difference in my life, this incredible ripple effect, and has been a huge part of Ignite since the beginning, as I said. And so all of the initiatives, in fact, she was there day one when I wanted to begin Ignite Humanity, and so much of the branding and messaging and all the things we do, well, that is thank you to Danya. And so today is about Inspiration Wednesdays. It's hard to be inspired in the midst of grief, but the truth is, it takes each and every one of us to make a difference in our lives so that we can shine the light for others. And Danya certainly shined the light for me, and I want to do that for you. And that's why I show up every day, Monday to Friday, live on this show, is to ignite your life so that you can go out and ignite the lives of others. And losing Danya has made me realize we need to grow together more than ever. Life is so precious. At 31 years old, she was taken from us. And it reminds me, folks, and thank you for allowing me to be personal, that we have to be dedicated to our future and we have to be focused on one another. And how we do that is by sharing stories. I just shared with you a little bit about Danya. Our guest is going to share a little bit about him. And those stories is what makes us feel compassion and empathy for one another. And when we feel that, when we feel close to one another, we feel able to make a difference, to come together and make a huge impact. So we're going to have lots of inspiration for you today. And we're going to talk a little bit how to live authentically and with genuine integrity. It's principle number 6 when it comes to igniting humanity. But before we get into this, let's talk to our guest. So happy to have him here, an incredible individual. Daniel Gomez is an award-winning keynote speaker, business coach, executive coach, corporate trainer, and podcaster of the year. His passion is to elevate business and entrepreneurs to achieve their true potential through training and coaching programs. And he is an international best-selling author of Making of the Makings of a Millionaire Mind. We'll get it out, of course. A little like Freudian glitch there. The Making of a Millionaire Mind. Welcome to the show, Daniel. Happy to have you here.
Woo! I love it, JB, in the house here. You said it, the makings of a millionaire mind. I'll tell you what, better late than never. I'm excited to ignite humanity here with you and just have a fire today. I'll tell you what, Inspiration Wednesday is for me. So thank you for having me this day, because we all need inspiration, because when you get inspired, not motivated, it touches your soul. It's a deeper connection. And I'll tell you right now, our world needs that deeper inspiration, because many people are discouraged, they're lost, they're hopeless. And you know what? They need a lot more God in their lives too. So I'm excited to be here with you, JB. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. And I love your enthusiasm, exactly what I need. So pour it on into me because it's true. We all need to be inspired because we are facing challenges we've never had before. And I know you have been through some challenges. You want to tell a bit about some of your getting to where you are now? How did you reach this incredible point in your life?
I've never talked about suicide before, JB. And when I was 18 years old, I tried to take my life. And
Mm.
I always wondered, right? I always wondered. I have this big scar from the top of my abdomen to the bottom of my midsection. And I had this scar right here. Every time I looked in the mirror, I would get depressed. And there was a point there where I drank too much beer because I was trying to see, right? I felt stupid, to be honest with you. I said, man, how could you want to take your life? And then you have this memory on you that is not positive. And I see it every day until one day God said, Daniel, why don't you just call that your scar of grace? I said, scar of grace. He goes, yeah, the grace that you're even alive. Because JB, the truth is this: when I shot myself, and I did try to shoot myself, I did shoot myself. It was 4 hours before I got to the hospital. What are the odds of someone living through 4 hours before they get there? And then when I was in the hospital for 3 months, yes, I was there 3 months. I almost died again. And I always wondered why I lived. I went through a point of my life when I got out of the hospital, my senior year in high school. 6 months were probably I was depressed, I was unhappy, and little did I know. I always ask myself, why did I live, God? Why didn't you just take me? And man, look, I wouldn't be here with you if you would have taken me. Daniel Gomez Inspires was born, but I realized this, that your life is not an accident. No matter how dark things may seem right now for you watching the show live, maybe you're in a dark spot right now. Maybe you do need to ignite the humanity within yourself, because you're saying, maybe you've been through a divorce and your husband told you you're worthless. Maybe your husband told you you're ugly, you're fat, or maybe you're the man and your wife told you you ain't worth nothing. Whatever it may be, whatever lie you're believing in your mind, I want you to open up your heart today to receive everything that JB and myself are going to pour into you today, because we're going to speak from a place of truth. And the moment I realized, JB, man, my life does have a reason. There is a passion for me to be here today with you. Like, right when this passion ignites, when it's a God-given desire and a passion, the world opens up for you. And next thing you know, you're on live with JB here on
Yeah.
like, wow, right? Because this is the one thing I've learned. Many people think they're not being watched. But next thing you know, you see this beautiful little sign on top right here, Ignite Humanity. People are watching you and you don't even realize it, because they want to see this. They want to see, is Daniel Gomez Inspires the real deal? Is JB the real deal? Is Joe B the real deal? Is Mary the real deal? Because people are going to watch you for 6 months to 18 months before they engage with you. And I'll tell you what, when you show up every day with inspiration in your heart to really help people, God answers and honors that, because you're being consistent with what he's given you. Faithful with the little, you'll be ruler over much.
Well, you nailed it, because one of the principles of igniting humanity is you have to live authentically. And so many of us live in an era and a day and age where we can just kind of show up and pretend and say it and have lots of fun photos on our social media, but we're not really living authentically. And it doesn't even matter to others. It's how we live authentically within ourselves, the messages that we tell ourselves, the things we say to ourselves. And it's so important that when we're authentic, people, don't you agree, feel drawn to you. They feel more magnetic towards you.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to give your audience a mind hack right here. Stop looking for the opportunity and realize that you are the opportunity. Let me say it again. Stop looking for the opportunity and realize that you are the opportunity. When you shift that perspective and you realize that you are the opportunity, opportunities chase you down. Just the same way I was contacted by you and your amazing show. I'm honored to be here. Of course, I'm going to say yes, but if I didn't have that mindset to think I can bring value and be the opportunity, then it would have never came. And so many people are desperate, chasing the wrong opportunities because they're doing it for the wrong motives, the wrong reason. When you realize that you're the God-given opportunity for somebody else, and you take that, it's like you magnetize yourself, right? It's kind of like the magnets on my shirt. It attracts the opportunities, and that's the way we got to see life. Because the truth is, there is a scripture that says God's blessings will chase you down, and if you truly believe that, trust me, they do. And you got to start thinking that way, and not undervaluing who you are. Because when you undervalue who you are, you chase the wrong people, you chase the wrong opportunities, and you chase the wrong situations.
And that's so truthful, because you, and one of the things that you become that create an opportunity for yourself and someone else is by sharing your authentic truth. I mean, right out of the gate, you weren't shy. You told us about a very difficult and trialsome time in your life. And what I admire so much about you and have always enjoyed is that you're not the victim of that situation. You didn't let that define you. That story, as I love to say, only refined you to become the amazing Daniel that you are right now. So thank you for that vulnerability, but also share how telling that story and being honest about that is helping a listener today.
Well, I want to share another little story. I've never spoken. I'm out. My son was 19 years old. And one day we went to go speak at a high school, because that's where I started off speaking, was in high schools. And my son being 19, I bring that up because he never knew I tried to commit suicide. Never heard me talk about it. Of course, we would be in the pool and they would see my scar. And I just said I had surgery when I was younger. That was just a conversation that I had, because I guess I was embarrassed about it. One day when we were there speaking to teenagers at a high school, the Holy Spirit just moved on me and said, talk about suicide. And I was like, like I was
Mm.
caught off guard. And I really had to capture myself. So I sat on the steps right there at the auditorium, inside inside there where everybody was at, and just opened up my heart. And I talked about just what I went through, what I was feeling. And after that, I mean, there was definitely some kids, some teenagers in tears. And this one girl came up like bawling after everything was said and done.
Mm.
Um, she was just crying, and she goes, you saved my life today. And I couldn't hug her, right? Because she's a female, she's a minor. My wife was with me too at that time. So I asked the counselor, can my wife just embrace her, right? Because obviously she needed a woman, a mom moment. But she shared how she had been molested by her stepfather. She shared how she didn't feel valuable. She shared that she was worthless, but that the words that I said really just gave her the inspiration, gave her the hope that, man, maybe I should hold on for another day. And maybe you're listening to us right now, and you're really contemplating suicide. Maybe you're thinking about, man, I'm gonna overdose, whatever it is. Don't do it. I want to encourage you, hang on for one more day. Let that be your motto. Hang on for one more day. The sun always comes up the following day. There may be ashes right now, but I promise you this: God is my witness that when you call out to him and you ask him, help me, when you mean it from a sincere place, because that's what I did. I always believed in a God. I always thought that there was a God, but I didn't know who God was. I know religion, but God's not about religion. People always say,
Mm.
well, Daniel, I'm not religious. I'm like, well, great, because me neither. And God hates religion. But when you realize that there is a God in heaven that sent his son to die for us on the cross, and you accept him as your Lord and Savior, that's when everything changed for me. That's when the Ignite Humanity just movement, because I realized that, wow, there's so many people out there that pretend to be happy. And you brought up social media earlier. Half the stuff that we see on Instagram, half the stuff that we see on Facebook, and I speak all over the world by God's grace. And I look at this person and I'm like, dude, like you just posted this post and you're not even living what you're posting. I don't call them out, but I'm thinking like,
Mhm.
that's not a person I want to do business with. Or people post pictures about this and that, and it's like, man, that's just, stop looking at everybody's social media. Because I would say this: test the waters, test the people. Don't believe everything you see. More than half of it, I would say, is fake and false. Because I've seen that. I spoke at this conference. This guy was claiming to be something he wasn't, talking about success, and then he leaves off in a clunker. Nothing wrong with the used car, but if you're going to if you're going to teach and preach about training somebody how to be successful, you better at least have a decent car, right? Walk the walk.
Mhm.
But
Walk in there. Yeah, exactly, exactly.
so,
It's so true.
and
You
people need
speak
that.
really sorry, I would just wanna say you speak so truthful, and that's what people wanna hear. People want the truth. We're hungry for the truth. I think now more than ever, we want to know what the truth is, because the truth is real and raw, and we can deal with the truth. But more importantly, what you said is you can create your own opportunity. So many people are looking for somebody else to pull them along the way, jump in their wagon so they can get there easier. But I really agree with you. God wants us to walk the walk and walk through the broken glass and overcome the obstacles, because that's how we learn and that's how we work the muscle. And in being it, then we can show the way and the path for somebody else, just like you've shared.
Yeah, well, something happens is you have to create your own opportunities too. I really believe that. Like next May 26th and 27th, and I would love for you to come and just be my guest for me, right? Just to come and hang out with me, because God shows up, and we're right. Our Makings of a Millionaire Mind book. We're gonna have our boot camp May 26th, 27th. But if you would have told me to build an event, I would have been like, God, I don't want to build an event, much less Makings of a Millionaire Mind, because right, people think you're greedy when you talk about money. And this is things that I had to fight within myself. And God says, are you going to listen to them, or are you going to listen to me? And so many times we listen to them, we listen to what they say, what they think, and it hinders us and it stops us from our God-given destiny. And God says, are you going to write the book or not? I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, write the book.
Mm.
And when I wrote the book became a program. The book became a live boot camp. We're having our second one May 26th. But I bring that up because I created this event, the Makings of a Millionaire Mind Boot Camp. It's an event that it's an opportunity for us to just come and really shift your mindset when it comes to money, because over 90% of people think in lack, poverty, and shortage. But if you would have told me that I was going to be accompanied by some amazing, amazing Christian believers, Dr. Rob Kelly, I mean, he's my coach right now, but I love this guy. This guy is bar none the best thing that's happened to me in a long, long time, besides my wife, of course. And Brian Covey, former Olympian gold medalist, right? Well, not gold medalist, but former Olympian soccer player. Like, God surrounds me with these people that are attracted to me. You know what? I believe in Daniels. And sometimes when we undervalue ourselves, we don't attract the right opportunities. I say this because I created the opportunity through a book, through an event, for people to come and be healed. The first one that we had last year, men were crying, women were crying, because you don't. This is what happens: is you as a human being, you don't even realize how many emotions you suppress and sweep it under the rug. You suppress how you feel. You never talk about it because you don't want to be embarrassed. You don't want to be judged by them, what they might say. Stop caring what they say, because let me tell you this: everybody has garbage inside of them, especially me. I didn't have a trash can full of junk. I had a freaking garbage can full of junk. I had a big old, I mean, I
Semi
literally,
trailer.
yeah, I mean, I did.
But do
But
you find that, like, I tell this people all this time, like, I'm just like you. I have the naysayers and I have negative, chatter in my mind, but I just turn that volume down and turn the other one up really loud, because we all are the same. We have, are we good enough? Are we capable? Are people going to like it? Am I going to be recognized? And if you just turn that volume down and turn the other one up about, it is possible, I can do it. Let's go after it. Let me try it. Let me trip and fall. I'm going to be okay. I learned from failure. Those are the kinds of things, like you said, that create more opportunities, because nothing's going to happen sitting at home other than maybe the roof's going to fall down on you eventually.
no, I love everything you said, and I agree with it 100%. And I would encourage your audience to take it even one step further. Assess the environment that you're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Assess the environment that you're in. The environment that you're in is not going to get you to where you want to go. What do I mean by that? Who do you need to let go? Who have you outgrown that you're still hanging around with from high school?
Yep.
I've met so many people. I grew up here on the south side of San Antonio, and I love it. That's who made me who I am at the core. But so many people, they stay just hanging around. They never give themselves those new experiences to go out there and see what else is out there. And what I had to go through when my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer 5 years ago, I had to look in the mirror and say, man, are you going to man up and be the man of your house, take care of your wife, or are you going to hire somebody? JB, I left a job that was paying me $250,000 a year to take care of my wife. In that transition of me resigning to take care of my wife, God said, go out there and speak to the world. People laughed at me. People mocked me. People said, do you really think you can make it out there as a motivational speaker? You know how many Mexican motivational speakers are out there? I said, well, I don't know. They go, exactly. Well, I don't care. God told me to do it.
Exactly.
It's going to happen. And who's laughing now? 5 years later, I've shared the stage with Les Brown, Tom Bilyeu, John Maxwell, some amazing speakers that are, I mean, and you're talking about by God's grace. And the thing is this: when you put yourself in those bigger opportunities, then God can give you even bigger opportunity. Because if you can't handle that level of success that you're at right now, how do you expect God to give you more? He won't, because it's going to destroy you.
Yeah, it's a really good point because many of us, I always love that saying, prepare for your prayers, because we're praying for stuff. We want stuff. We're asking for stuff, but we're not preparing for it. We're not putting in the work. We're not putting in the time. We're not putting in the effort. And more importantly, what you said, we're not believing in ourselves. And you and I are very similar. Many people call me the pink billionaire, and people say, well, you're not a billionaire. What is a billionaire? How much money? How much money? You and I both know it's about mindset. It's about belief systems. It's about what we think. And I always say, billionaires are people who make a billion-person impact. Billionaires who are thinking about billions of people. They're thinking about global community. They're thinking about things on a billion-person impact. And I'm sure your book, and I know how fantastic it is, talks about the mindset. So today, let's inspire some people with some really massive thinking, massive mindset. Give me a little millionaire mindset tips.
Well, this is something I talk about in our book, The Makings of a Millionaire Mind, is that you have to stop trading dollars for hours.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trading dollars for hours and really start putting yourself in a situation where you're thinking of net worth. What do you want your net worth to be in 3 years? What do you want your net worth to be in 5 years? Really start thinking about the word net worth. That's one thing that we talk about in our book, The Makings of a Millionaire Mind. Because see, the thing is when you think like an employee, then and you try to open up a business as an entrepreneur, you're gonna fail because you're still thinking like that 9 to 5er. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? My wife, she loves her job because it's her identity, and I respect that and I support her. But if you're there and you're listening to us right now, and you know that God's been putting something in your heart to that's bigger than where you're at right now, you got to kill that employee mindset, and you really got to start developing a business mindset. Millionaires understand that you have to develop that business mindset and invest in yourself. Another big thing that I teach on is that you got to stop seeing everything as a cost. No, things are not a cost. It's an investment in you.
Investment.
You're Yes,
Investment.
oh
Yes.
baby, come
That's
on.
right. That's
You're
right. And you are worth the biggest investment ever.
Yeah, and you're worth it, JB. You're worth the investment, ladies and gentlemen, watching the Ignite Humanity show right now. You're worth the investment. You are worth the investment. And so many people, because we think like this employee over here, we never take the time to really shift our mindset, our perspective. You're stuck in that employee mindset, and all these opportunities are coming to you. You don't see them, and you miss it. And that's one thing that I love teaching about is right the one thing that I really go in the millionaire mind is you have to develop a millionaire self-image. I want your
Mhm.
audience, write this down, ladies and gentlemen. You're never gonna outgrow your self-imposed self-image. Let me say it again. You're never gonna outgrow your life is never gonna outgrow your self-imposed limitations because of your self-imposed self-image that you have of yourself. You have to change your environment. You have to grow your self-image. And that's one thing that I really help my clients with is I really help them break that, right? That glass ceiling that they see themselves. And we take it to another level because you have to raise your financial step point. And many people don't know how to do those. They sound simple, but you have to be very, very intentional. So when we talk about the millionaire mind, when you really have the millionaire mind, you have to grow your self-image to that of a millionaire. And that's one thing that I specialize in doing. And I mean, the breakthroughs that we have, we took a business that was losing a million in the red, true losing a million in the red. Within 1 year and 2 months, they were making a million in the black. That was a $2.2 million swing from the negative to the positive because the owner raised his self-image. And when
Mhm.
you raise your self-image, guess what? You're not
Mhm.
you're not an insecure owner anymore. So many
Yeah.
business owners are just have insecurities and they micromanage and they don't even realize it.
Such great advice, such wonderfulness. I of course am like wanting you to like send me a copy of the book so I can share it with my son who is, 18 and stepping into his business. We were chatting last night and he's talking about, "Mom, I want to invest and I want to learn more." And it was music to my ears, of course, because as you said, you need to invest in yourself and you need to learn from people who are a little bit ahead of you. So such good advice. And I will share, of course, one of the best things about Millionaire Mind is get out of your pajamas, get dressed, show up, make an effort, and just put one step in front of the other, and it absolutely unfolds. Well, we so appreciate you on the show. Tell us how people can find you, and we'll put it up on the screen.
Well, you can find me at danielgomezspeaker.com. That's danielgomezspeaker.com. And to your audience, send me an email at danielgomezspeaker.com. We see it on the screen right now. And I'll give you a complimentary discovery session where we'll just kind of talk about maybe what you need helping with your business. free, nothing. Just as for JB's audience, that's Daniel at DanielGomezSpeaker.com, 30-minute complimentary session. And you can follow me all over social media. My brand is Daniel Gomez Inspires. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on even on Pinterest. I even have a Pinterest page called Daniel Gomez Inspires because
Well, thank you for doing that for my audience, because
yeah.
you know what, that's the spirit of giving. And you know what, the seventh principle of igniting humanity is give first and offer all you can. And so I so appreciate you giving, because the truth is there is somebody listening. And if you're that person, please take advantage. And you can already see Daniel's enthusiasm, excitement, his belief, his faith. That is really going to create opportunities for you. Thank you so much, my darling.
Yes, well, thank you for having me. It's been an amazing time with you. You're a blessing, and thank you so much, JB.
Same to you. Big hugs and kisses. And you know, so many things can happen in your life when you decide to take the opportunity, but invest in you and decide that you're worth it, and go out there and be around the right people. And of course, we talk about this all the time. I can go on and on about business, but what I want to share with you is that when you work on you, you show other people around you the power of self-development and the ability for you to achieve something. Now, you don't have to become a millionaire, but living your life in a way where you're happy, content, good relationships with your spouse and your children, that is a great example for other people. And you do that by shifting your mindset to know that you are worth it. You were born amazing. You came to this earth incredible. You were designed divinely. And so you have the opportunity to do incredible things that other people will be inspired by. And so on Inspiration Day, I want to inspire you to do something magical, do something exceptional, and invest in you. And of course, you can do that by watching this recording again, reaching out to Daniel, or of course, going to our website at ignitehumanity.life/watch and see all of our other episodes and everything we're up to. And if you're doing something amazing and you want to be on the show, ignitehumanity.life/share, you could just fill out our type form, tell us what you're up to, and we would love to showcase you on the show. Now, I said at the beginning, we are honoring our fallen team member, Danya Safar, and we're doing that in a very special way. We are going to be creating a school in her name. Danya is from Pakistan, and she is going to be memorialized by a school there. If you would like to contribute to her school, please go to danyasafarmemorial.com. Every single dollar you donate will buy a brick to help build a school so that we can remember her and her family has a place to go. She was an incredibly powerfully talented individual, and we want to create a school where other creatives can thrive. All right, big hugs and kisses. And you always know you can reach out to me, jb@igniteyou.live. Love to hear from you and what you're up to. Blessings to you, and may your life be filled with Ignite moments.
Now, more than ever, we need to come together to connect with one another. We need to feel the truth in who we are and let go of everything that's happened in the past. We need to empower every person on the planet and awaken hearts, enliven souls, come together, laugh, play, rejoice, connect, create, and love. It's time to ignite humanity. We want you to be a part of something that will impact the future for everyone. We want you to tell your story, share your Ignite moment, show people who you truly are. Be a part of igniting humanity and making a difference in the world and all of our futures.